Barbara the Raspberry Stitcher. I'm back for episode number 4, Saturday the 20th of February, and I'm so excited to show you what I've been doing this week. First, I want to just talk about the crazy weather, what's been happening, especially in Texas and their surrounding states that have been devastated by this weather. My daughter actually lives in San Antonio. We have been very lucky that she has not lost power, has had water, now is on a boil order, but compared to many others around, she has been taken care of, and the university there has done wonders. So I'm very thankful that she's doing well. I'm praying for all the other people who are without power, who are without water, and in those long lines just trying to get substance and food and shelter. It is unbelievable, and my heart goes out to them. Just lots of prayers and anything you guys can do to help anyone if you know anyone. I also have another stitcher friend who is in one of my Zoom groups who has been in and out of her car. They finally got power back on a few days ago, so I'm thankful for that for her. Just everyone, just prayers, and if there's any organization you know of that you can do something with, just do it, because I know there are a lot of people suffering. So that's my little spot, and my daughter is doing very well, so no worries about her. But it definitely was a concern this past week for us, and talked to her many times during the week, and she's a very smart girl. She filled up her bathtub with water to make sure she could flush toilets if needed, and they cooked lots of food. Some of her room swim mates, she's down there studying PT and is also on a synchronized swimming team. She's an athlete, and some of her teammates had to come and live with them for a while, so they had 7 girls in their apartment and for a day or two, and made lots of food, and so they were definitely working together, so it was fantastic to hear that. So now I want to go on and just show you a previous stitch. I think might do this regularly. I don't have tons of finished stitches, but this is one that I got from market in 2016. It's by Praiseworthy Stitches, Grace. I love purple, which many of you know, and I'm going to talk about in a little bit, kind of a reference to the name that I have go by on Instagram and YouTube. But some friends of mine, I asked them to get the chart. They were actually going for our local LNS to market that year. And so they were kind enough, they picked that up for me. At the time, my kids were younger and, you know, money was a lot tighter. So I said, just give me the chart. That would be great. When they came back, they got me the chart. And because of what they read inside the chart, this chart at the time was giving 20% of its profits to an organization that was started for a little girl, the Abby Grace Foundation. And it was in honor of their daughter, Abigail Grace, who has a rare disease. And they read through it and everything they've done and just the different type of disability that the young girl had. And it spoke to them because some of you may know, may not know, I have a son with a disability. He has autism, and we've been doing our best to help him and raise him and make him, you know, fulfill his potential in his life. And that really spoke to them. So when they came back, they actually brought all the flosses for me. And so all I had to do is get some fabric, and I started it. So I want to show you that today. So it's a little bit of a meaningful stitch for me. So this is Grace by Praiseworthy Stitches. The linen, I think, is a 36, but I'm not 100% sure. I know I used 2/2 on this. And it's just 3 flosses, color flosses. You had to have at least 2 skeins of the lighter colors, and I think 6 skeins of the dark, which is Merlin. But I love it. It was something I dearly enjoyed stitching. It is just probably a plain, not over dyed linen, just an off-white. It is not as Weigert. It's definitely a more open weave, I can tell, even if it is a 36. I've measured it out, and that's what it seemed like it would be. I do not remember, but I didn't change anything or personalize it at the time. but the colors drew me in, and then knowing the story behind it, it really just touched my heart, and felt like I was stitching it not only for that little girl, but for myself and for my son, and it was just an enjoyable stitch. I loved it, even though I believe might have been this side. I had to take a whole side out. I was off, and I literally cried and like frogged all night long because I was like, I don't want to wake up in the morning to, that. So, and then had to restitch it all. But after that, it went pretty well. So I enjoyed it. I hope you guys do. Definitely, they have a whole series of different ones like that. And that one just was one that touched me. So moving on now to a few questions. One of them was about my name, RasbperryStitcher, and a woman really pinned it on the head and on Instagram, and she said, I think I know why you chose that. I do love those shades of colors of raspberries, black raspberry colors, red raspberries, magenta style colors. Those are definitely things I'm drawn to. My garden is all in those colors. So my front garden, I have all in whites and purples and pinks and blues and all of those kind of varying shades. I've always liked them. My house is kind of decorated in those colors. I know a lot of stitchers aren't purple fans, but I absolutely adore purple. I know most love red. I enjoy red. It is definitely not my favorite, but I definitely like to stitch it. It's not that I don't, but I'm definitely more of a plum, purple, magenta type of girl, I guess. So anyway, that was that. And I love to eat raspberries. That was the other thing. I get them all year round at the grocery. I especially love them with chocolate. So I thought, well, I'll just call myself the Raspberry Stitcher. That's no big meaning behind it other than that. So, and then someone else asked how I organize the way I choose what I'm going to stitch in different days and stuff. No real science behind it other than last year I did do a book of days. I thought I want to just track what I'm doing and how I'm doing things. I really hadn't ever done that. I really had started to ramp up how much I was stitching and stitching every day. So I just wanted to figure out, what was my style and what fit me. Definitely seeing through Instagram and YouTube's and other fellow stitchers, how do they stitch? How do they figure out what they're going to stitch on? It was the first time I'd really had a lot of whips. I had mostly been either a 1, 2, or 3, kind of project whip stitcher at the time. I usually had one real big project and a smaller one, and maybe something else that I put aside here or there, but I hadn't had the multiple whips that I do now. So that year I really started to try things almost every month. So like one month I used the random wheel and spun and put stuff in there. One time I did just one project every week. So every week I would pick one project and work on it. Then I started to fluctuate between different things. And then this year I really sat down and decided, since I do have so many different SALs that I'm kind of working on and want to complete them within like a year to around a year, I decided that it would be easier for me to just do one each day. I do work full time, Monday through Friday. I usually get off by around in between 1:30 and 2:30. It just depends, but usually by around 1:30. And I thought, well, that way I can come home, I can stitch for a little while before dinner, and then after dinner I can stitch some more. So I decided that would be easiest for me. So I'm going to try it out this whole year and see how I like it. I may change it next year. I have no idea. This year it seems to work just because I am doing so many different style projects. And I do plan to introduce some other types of things, especially because I do want to get some Christmas stitching going and make sure I have that done way ahead of time since I'm doing things this way this year. Also, I am decided to try to get my whip amount down. So instead of doing a no new start year, I'm kind of doing, I need to finish 2 whips before I can have a start. I have finished 6 so far this year, so I have earned 3 starts. I've only done 1 of those starts. I am kind of being very strategic about when I do them and when I'm choosing because they're going to be limited. I can only finish so much in a year. So anyway, that's a little bit about that. And then I've just decided each month I write everything down. So I actually write it down here. Sometimes it works out, like I put arrows and I'm off a day. And then I just try to write down what I've worked on, you know, what part of it I worked on. If I did anything else that day, I am doing the exceptions I have for no new starts is some exchanges I'm in. So I'm in an exchange right now. I just finished stitching it and now I'm going to do some finishing on it. I'm hoping to get some pictures of that so I can show you guys after the exchange is finished, but that won't be until probably in April because it is an Easter exchange. So we're not exchanging until the end of March. So you have to wait on that one. But that's pretty much it. I've just decided, and then last month to this month, I kind of moved and switched some of the days I'm doing stuff to kind of like get some more progress on some things that I was noticing I wasn't getting as much progress on certain days, or I didn't have as much stitching time on certain days. So that's about it. I mean, there's no real science. I think you have to try things and see if you like them, give them some time, and then be like, maybe I need to tweak this way, or maybe I need to do something a little different. But it needs to be for you and what you like, because obviously this is a hobby. It needs to be enjoyable for you. Right now, this is what's working for me. In a few years, it may not work for me. Also, lifestyle and change like that is going to make it different for each person. So right now, I have more time to stitch. I don't have any children at home. My daughter is in college, and I talked about my son. He is actually in a group home and lives there right now, so we go and see him on some weekends. So there are certain days that every so often I don't have as much time to stitch because I spend most of the day going down to see him, and you know, those visits take time because he lives 2 hours away from us. So we have to drive down 2 hours. We visit him for about almost 2 hours, and then we drive back. So it's pretty much almost a whole day. I get a little bit of stitching done later in the evening after dinner, but that's about it on those days. But so I think you just need to find out what works for you. I decided, you know, because of that, I wrote down and I kind of categorized. These are a bunch of my whips, and I categorized with little symbols, like which ones are going to be year long, which ones are going to be worked on as trying to be finishes, which ones are going to be what I call put in my monthly rotation. So last month I had Land That I Love, and I put that in monthly rotation. This month I have put in Sarah Lytle, and it's going to be worked on this month. I just want to make progress on them. I'm not expecting to totally finish them. If they get really close, maybe I will split some days in half and work on them for some half days just to get that finished. I don't know. It's always evolving too. So that's all I got on that. So hopefully that helped answer that question that I had a couple people ask about. Next on the agenda is Needle Expo, and I know so many of you are excited about it. You're following it. They're on Instagram, they're on Facebook, and a lot of your designers, if you're not following them on their social media, you need to be, because they are letting us know what's going to be coming out. And I already have a couple of must buys. One of them I just saw last night was by Jeanette Douglas, which is Blooming Bouquets number 6, and I wasn't expecting it, and it is totally my jam. The colors are so much what I love. Purple, green, flowers. I'm excited. So that one I'm going to be getting for sure. And the floss pack, because her floss packs are amazing. Definitely well worth it. I know they cost a bit because it's mostly silks, but it is definitely worth buying the floss pack instead of buying separate skeins. Unless you're going to do a total conversion, it's definitely worth buying the floss packs. And I've got to buy the floss pack for that. And I've got to buy the floss pack for number 5 too, because I didn't get that due to COVID and all of the chain supply issues. That one was held off. So she had just gotten those together, I think a few months ago, and gotten them out to shops and distribution places. So I'm ready to order that also. But the other thing she's going to be releasing, which I wanted to show you guys because I got it in a retreat, is the flower tray set. I've had a few people when I have posted on Instagram or even in Facebook who wanted this. I was lucky enough, I believe it was 2019, to do a retreat here in Indiana, and she was here, and this was our project, and it's a beautiful project. I do not have it put together. I have a friend who does, and hers is gorgeous. And I love it. We got all of the called for everything. So here are the flosses. Let me put this behind here so you can see that. They are very beautiful. Definitely colors I love. And I do love the fact that her projects include some specialty stitches, some more than others. The blooming bouquets really just have a satin stitch border. That's it. The rest of it's all cross stitch. So it's good to go for anyone and almost any fabric choice. I mean, you could adjust the satin stitch for an Ada stitcher easily and make them cross stitches if you wanted to, or just, you know, maybe not do it's in a zigzag border. You could just do a solid border and satin stitch it on an Ada. So here is the main tray. So I just wanted to show everyone, especially because she's releasing this one. It's so pretty, multiple stitches there. And then here is the fob, the front and the back. This is on 36 sand by PTP. And then this will be in the drum. And it is so pretty. And her diagrams are amazing. She does not have anything in there that you can't learn to do. I definitely didn't know all these stitches before I started that. This was a few years ago. And you just have to dig in and do it. Most of them are satin stitches, which is just straight stitches, really. I mean, it's nothing to be afraid of. The more you do it, the more you get used to the better way that things lay, especially for you. But it is a beautiful, beautiful piece. So definitely be looking out for that one. It's gorgeous. And I think later she may even have more of these. This may become a short little series because they are really adorable. So I teased everyone on my Instagram, I think, and Facebook on some fabrics. So I want to show you what I made with those fabrics. I think you're going to love it. I decided I needed some new bags, so I made some. Here's one of them. This one has got Sarah Lytle in it, and it's a batik pattern. It's gorgeous. These are fabrics that I bought on clearance a while back, over a year ago. And then I bought the zippers online. They're just YYK zippers. They're really affordable. I bought a whole bundle of multicolors, and then on the end of them, it has the color number, and it also has the, you know, when I cut it off for the actual bag, I just kept those so then I can refer to it. So that's this one. And you can see easily it fits in the larger patterns. I did make these with a tutorial from Jenn Crafts. I'm sorry, Jenn Crafts. The vinyl is 23.5 on YouTube video. And then she has a fabric one, which I'll show you. I've made a couple of those. And she has all of the materials listed. She has all the sizing listed. I will say on this one, I did increase it by, I think, an inch or so, just so to make sure this would fit in here without it being up inside here. So it just makes it fit a little bit better. And I made this one. Got stuff in it already. And I made this one, which has got one of the blooming bouquets in it. You can see it fits really, really nicely. So that way it's not up above. And this has a beautiful kind of chevron zigzag pattern in it. So I made that one. And then I made this one. So, and she does a great tutorial on how to do the binding. It just wraps around and then you just sew it all the way around. It's so easy. It's super great. So if you don't think you can do it, go and look at her tutorial because it is step by step. It really explains everything. There aren't many fabrics to cut and it's very simple. I really enjoy it. So check it out. Next, I think I'll just show you some things that I got in the mail, some haul. I was very excited when I first heard about this series coming, and I think a lot of people are. It's the Sunday Stitches by Heartstring Samplery. So I've gotten both of them so far. I've not started one, but this may be one of my starts. These really brought me back a little bit to childhood and going to church with my grandparents. My mother did not go to church, but we always went to church with my grandparents when I was little. And these are the types of songs we sang. My grandparents were very, what most people call is very religious, very strict. My grandmother only wore dresses. She only had long hair. And it's interesting to see how she is now because she's a little bit different, but she is a very spunky person. She's crazy and wacky, and I love her. She's a pretty amazing woman. But that they just kind of like remind me of that time, their house. There's just something nostalgic about that that brings me to that place in my life. And so I think stitching them will be kind of a beautiful thing to do and therapeutic thing to do. And maybe put in some things in there, maybe as some remembrances. So I'm excited about that. And then while I put that up, I also had to get the last two Biscore News because I am obsessed with them. So now I have all 4 of her Biscore News. If you've not seen these, they're beautiful. So Be Mine, and then Let Our Gladness is the next other one. So Let Our Gladness Have No End is what it says on the top. They're beautiful. So if you haven't seen these, check them out. They're pretty awesome. Love those birds and the heart. And then I got my bag of the month from So Much to Love. So I'm excited to show you. You've probably seen it from other people, but I think it's adorable. Look at that. It's so cute. That fabric is beautiful. I am so excited. I did not have a Valentine's bag, so this makes me happy. And the birds inside. It says Love Birds and XOXO. Adorable. This month we got some M&Ms, which I'm definitely eating as soon as I'm done here. And then we got some great little floss tags from It's So Emma. And so you can use them to bobbinate, or you can hang floss off of them too. So you could do either or. Got the Stash Tea, which is my favorite. It's wild raspberry hibiscus. How apropos. I am excited to try this. And I waited. And then the cute little hand-stitched heart. Isn't that beautiful? So this is by Cogan's Creation by Sue Cogan. Put that up there so you guys can see it. You should go check her out. Very cute and adorable stuff. Love it. So I'm very excited about that. I'm like, oh, that's going to be great to put in a Valentine's display at some point. I don't have enough Valentine's stuff now, so that's something I'm going to have to work on, is getting some more Valentine's to put out and to display. So that's that. My last acquisition is a chart I have eyed for a while, and I was afraid of it because it has a lot of embroidery on it, not just cross stitching, not just some specialty stitches, but real like embroidery. And I don't know if I'll ever do it, but at least I have the chart if I want to now. It is no longer available unless a shop has it by chance, or unless you find it off somewhere. Somebody was selling this. They weren't going to stitch it. They've never opened it. So that was pretty amazing. So it is 2019 Queen of the May, Lucy Navier, 1818. I'm in love with the tree. Absolutely in love. I've seen some people stitching this. I've seen somebody doing the tree. The tree is all in knots. So it's pretty elaborate. Like this guy up here, there's cross stitch in the middle, but the outside is all embroidery, stem stitch, satin stitch. So there's just some different types of things on here. But I was drawn to this when it was released. I didn't buy it because I was definitely afraid of everything. I've done some more things since then, so I feel like I could tackle it at some point. It won't be soon, but I was very excited to kind of like buy it. I've seen it a couple other times and I didn't, and I thought, and this time I said, yep, I'm gonna get it. So I did. We'll see what happens. I have no idea. That tree though reminds me of a tree that also was at my grandparents' house. And it just, there's nostalgia in it, and that's why I like it. So next, let's look at the stitching, shall we? Because I haven't shown you too much, just a couple pieces previously, but this week I've worked on my rotation. As you can see here, I've been, writing everything down. I didn't write down what I worked on last night, but I will tell you what I worked on. And then today, I'm going to try to work on a couple things today. I really want to work on my Holland sampler that I didn't work on Thursday. And then I wanted to work on Brown Bird Biscornu some more today. So those are on my list today. But the first one we're going to look at is Though He Seemeth Sleeping by Lucy Beam. I've seen so many people stitching this, and the finishes of this, it's beautiful. Everyone's a little different. This chart, she gave thread colors for DMC, Weeks Dye Works, Classic Color Works, and Gentle Arts, so you could mix and match. I did that. I kind of pulled my own. And she also gave you a sheet to write it all down on, so I've written all of mine down. I am doing it on 40 count brown paper by X Jude. So here is my progress so far. I am very excited about it. I like how it's looking. I like that I changed some of the oranges to more of the plums and magentas, reds. So it is definitely coming along. I got some of this bottom border done, a lot of this, added some more alphabet up here, and you can't see the one alphabet because it is kind of a ghost alphabet, but there is an alphabet right there. So I plan to just keep going with this, go across, go down. I'm very excited about it. Here are what my thread colors look like. So those are the colors I'm working with. You can see there's some different purples, magentas, but there are so many different colors in this. It's just gorgeous. And I got this beautiful thread drop here. It has a picture of the basket on the bottom of this sampler. So, okay. And I'm putting that in one of my new bags, which I was so excited about. And I think it actually kind of matches. It's this one. So the colors are perfect. The next one I worked on is Jane Fittis. I did not get as far along on this as I wanted to the last 2 weeks. I am struggling with this one, even though I love how it looks. And when I see everyone stitched and all their stitching, I just melt, literally melt, because I love this one so much. And it's not like I haven't done a lot. I have. It's just there's so much more to do. So here's where I'm at. I started on, last time I think I had gotten this done. I've gotten a little bit of this done. I did come back up here and I stitched a couple of this four-sided stitch, which takes me a long time, but it does look nice. I'm still, you can see on the back, I'm really trying to stitch it a little bit reversibly. So it does take me a little bit of time trying to make sure that I'm not crossing the wrong way. But yeah, it's definitely takes the time. The other thing I wanted to show you was how I organize my threads. This is a Veriswa, and what I like to do is I just put them in baggies. The symbol I put up here and the number. So when I'm doing the chart, all I have to do is look for that symbol on the bag. I don't actually need my thread legend. I do have the bookmark one that she gives you, and I put that to the side. And a lot of times I'll just pull, if I'm working in one section, I'll see all the different colors I'm using and just pull them out and set those right next to me, and the rest of them I'll leave in my bag. So I thought I'd let you guys know that. It's just something I do. I don't know if other people do it that way, but I think it just helps that I'm not constantly having to look everything up by the number and what, what symbol is it, I know right away. The next one I've worked on is Sarah Lytle, a little bag here, so cute. And this is the one that I did change fabric on and changed almost all the colors. I think maybe one might be the same, but here's where I'm at. I got the bottom of the berry bowl basket done. So I did that, and then I also got the bottom of this vase. I got all of that done. So I'm kind of excited about the progress on this and how it's looking. This is on a gray, I believe it was Gretchen's gray. I looked it up. It is a 36 count. I do not know who made it though, but because that's all it said on the tag was Gretchen's gray. If somebody knows, let me know. I don't know what maker makes that. And then these were the floss colors right here. And I talked about all of them last time that I'm using for this. So, but I really think those are really fun and different and look really great on that gray color. And I'm actually putting that in one of my new bags. There it is, in the batik one, because I thought it looked really good in that one. So I'm using that one. And then Ann Morrison, I'm almost totally caught up. I think one more sit with this and I will be ready for March, which is exciting. Okay. So I got all of the couple of bands in down here. So I got this band in and this band in, and I did all of this, and I know you can barely see it, but I'm gonna pull it way up for you. So that's the really light blue alphabet. So I still haven't decided what I want to put in, what I call the little bums here. They're like little clover shapes. The color they have is kind of a muted gray-green. It's a little duller than this green. I've seen some people put other colors in. I'm kind of leaning towards the peachy color to bring some of that peach up higher because it is not used up in this area at all. So that's what I'm thinking about. Let me know what you think. I can show you the color. It would be one of these colors, and I'm not sure which one, but there are two kind of peach colors there. Probably this darker one, but I'm thinking that would be really nice. So, see. And then talking about the other bags that that Jenn Crafts shows you how to make is like this. So I made this one for Ann Morrison. I had these fabrics. They just really matched perfectly. It just was happenstance. And that is number 22 on her FlossTube, or her YouTube channel. And so she shows you how to make them. I have a different fabric on the inside, fully enclosed and lined. She talks about 2 different ways to add the trim. And I did adjust the size. This size is a little bigger, so it will fit a hat's pattern underneath the zipper. So you just have to add, you know, an inch or 2, whatever it is, and it makes it better. So anyway, check that out. These are really fun to make. Now, I will say those take a little bit longer. The steps are a little longer. There's more fabric to cut out. There's more lining, but completely worth the effort. I love them. The next one, I worked on my Holland from Jeanette Douglas. So I'm working up. I've gotten most of this corner done. I worked on this motif, the B, and started the C, and I had already come over to here. Next, I'll probably finish the C. I'd like to get this done and come down this band, so it'd be nice to have this whole top section done. We'll see how far I get. This is on 32 count light mocha Swiker, and here it is. So as you can see, I did work on this motif here, the B, and then I'm starting the C. And that's just back stitching around all of this. It looks really good though. You could always, you know, do a double running stitch, whatever's easiest for you. But I really love the colors in this. Again, this was a floss pack that I got from Jeanette. Makes it a lot easier. And they were doing a sale at Sassy Jack's. I don't know if it's still going on. I haven't seen anything about it. I know that Kim is very busy with moving the shop. She's in the new home now. And so hopefully some of those things will pick back up. So The next one I worked on it last night actually, is the Stacy Nash. This is an exclusive from Homespun Facebook group. And all I worked on was this 1/1 verse, and I'm still not finished. I'm telling you, whew, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of eye strain. And it's only on 36 count 1/1, so it's not like super small, but it's small enough. I do have the other parts, so they're coming out in parts. I don't have a picture of the whole thing, but the last part's going to be this house. So there's one more part to come. So that one will probably be released in about a year. So you can't get it anymore. It's on 36 count straw with all Weeks Dye Works. So here's where I am. I did get, see that butterfly and that done. I think I had gotten that last time. And I really just concentrated on the verse, which is all 1/1. Gonna be honest, some of those words are not in the right place. They're either up or down or over, but I'm going to be honest, she did not count correctly either. Some of the words were up and down and over, so I don't feel so bad, and I'm not going to change it. But I really think this is a really pretty sampler. I'm excited to get past this 1/1 verse and get going and adding some other things, and I'm sure you guys will too, because it'll be more interesting to look at. And here are the beautiful colors for that. They're all Weeks Dye Works. They're so luscious. The blues, these mauves and pinks. So very excited. All right, and the last one here is my Brown Bird Biscornu, which I'm hoping to get a finish on. Probably not this month, but hopefully next month. I've been working on the top here. I have this whole bottom completed. So I did make some good progress on it. I've gotten that corner done and come into the middle and started here. One of the birds is right here and more berries over there. It is amazing the effect that these berries have with just 2 colors. It's amazing. It's beautiful how 3-dimensional they look. And I will show you the back again. So if you haven't seen it before, you're new to my channel, that's the back. And I decided to do the bottom first because I knew if I didn't do the bottom first and I did the top first, I may never do the bottom, because the bottom to me is a lot more stitching than the top, but it's gorgeous. So yeah, I am excited. Maybe next time I can at least have like this whole one done and the bird done, get like a whole quadrant done, would be great. And oops, here are the beautiful threads for that. I'm doing all the called for on the threads. The linen, I believe, is like a platinum. So they're really pretty. I would definitely suggest not changing the threads. They're perfect. And I actually ended up putting that in the So Much to Love bag I got last month because I thought, not perfect. All right. Next, I just want to give a thanks for the shout outs I've gotten from a couple of fantastic YouTubers that I've been watching for a while. One of them is Creatively Yours, Debbie, in FlossTube 75. She said some really kind words about my FlossTube and my stitching, so thank you very much, Debbie. The Contented Stitcher, Kim, and her FlossTube number 9 was just very kind and talked about my FlossTube on there, so thank you very much, Kim. I appreciate it. NiecieLynn on one of her vlogging times, number 9. Love watching her. I was just watching her before I started recording. She cracks me up. I love her attitude. She's just a hoot. That's what we call it. She's a hoot. So she was very kind about my letters for mom from my last video that I did a couple of weeks ago. So thank you, Niecy. And then MommaLovesyouGB. So appreciate you giving me a shout out, Michelle, on her FlossTube 17. So thank you for all the love and kindness. I really appreciate it. I am getting close to 600 subscribers, which is beyond my wildest dreams at number 4. I thought maybe I would have 0 or 2 or 5. Like, it's just unbelievable. I went over the 2,000 mark on my first FlossTube of views, like crazy. I can't even explain how nice that is, and just the good compliments I've gotten, and how many people have just commented how much they have enjoyed watching it, and that they feel like I do a good job, or I look like I'm comfortable, because I'm totally not. So I don't know how you guys think that. But I do appreciate it very, very much. So with that, again, be kind, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.